How do you get to a point where throughout the day, no matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on, you're constantly in this conversation with Hashem? It's by giving yourself 10 minutes a day of silence where you do this meditation in your heart. Conversation with Hashem. Silent hitbodedut. A heart hitbodedut. Rebbi Shalom of Belz explained that this is Tefilah le'ani. The prayer that the Zohar says is the prayer that ascends in a greater way above all the other prayers. Tefilah le'ani. The prayer of the pauper, the impoverished. That's the literal meaning of those words, but there's such a deeper significance to that. So the Rebbi Shalom explains that the word le'ani is the Rashi Tevot, an acronym of the words of the verse Netiv lo yidau ait, a pathway that the vultures don't know about. There's a pathway of prayer that the vultures don't know about it, hidden from the vultures. Kabbalistically, this is a very high world. One of this in the spiritual dimension, the Arizal tells us exactly which world it is. That is so great, it's so high, it's so lofty that the klipot, they don't even know that it exists. And that's the pathway that the prayer of the heart, says Rebbi Shalom of Belz. When your prayer is just in your heart with Hashem, we're speaking about that conversation with Hashem in your heart. Netiv lo yidau ait. The vultures, the klipot, the other side, or the angels of the prosecuting angels, judgment energy, doesn't even know that you're praying. Doesn't even know. So that prayer ascends beyond all the other prayers. And so this is, I would recommend, and this is what I teach, everyone to begin to practice at least a good 10 minutes a day of this silent hitbodedut in your heart with Hashem. And I recommend that you do it as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning, while you're still in your bed, before you say Mode'ani. Before you say Mode'ani. You can set your alarm for 10 minutes, and in your bed, practice 10 minutes conversation with Hashem, and you can speak about everything. All your plans for the day. You can go through all of the different releasing processes that I teach. You can release on the chaos programs. You can speak about your intentions. You can pray in your heart about all your intentions for the day, all of the places where you feel like you need support. You can even go into gratitude to Hashem, that you slept well, that you had a good night, that you have a wonderful life, that you have a bed to sleep in, that you have a roof over your head, that you have a wonderful family, that you're going to have a wonderful breakfast, that you had a delicious dinner. You can thank to Hashem that even that you're speaking to Hashem in your heart, that you know the secret of praying to Hashem in this way. Thank Hashem that you were in the shir. Thank Hashem that you learned about the secret of Tefilah le'ani, Netiv lo yidau ait. You can thank Hashem every day that you know these secrets of Lev Emunah. I do. And then at the end of your 10 minutes, you say the words in your mouth, Mode'ani lefanecha melecha v'kayam, shechezarta bi nishmati bechem naramba emunatecha, and in those words you're establishing, you're channeling all of the light of the prayer of your heart into words of gratitude to Hashem. We're giving you life for another day. We're giving you life. We're giving you all of these blessings. We're giving you your soul. And this way it's manifested into the physical dimension for the rest of your life. So in this blessing, and I also recommend it in the Vitality Circle, as you're going to sleep. The other time of the day, it could be 10 minutes, but you don't have to sit there with a stopwatch, right? If you fall asleep in the middle of those 10 minutes, that's fine. As you're lying down in bed, going to sleep, fall asleep from a conversation, a heart conversation with Hashem. As the Ben Ish Chai says, that the word Adam, mankind, is the letters Aleph, Daled, Mem, the milui, the fillers, the letters that fill up those three words of the letters of Adam, is letters that spell out mitpalel. Because what's in the inside, what's filling up the person all the time, what's on the inside of the person, the pnimiut, is the conversation with Hashem. Now, why is it that sometimes people have resistance to this? Because they think to themselves, well, does Hashem really hear what's in my heart? Because people have resistance to this because they don't truly believe. And Rebbe Nachman says this. Rebbe Nachman says that people have resistance to prayer. People don't really connect to their prayer only because they lack their emunah. He says, if you truly believe that Hashem is right here with you right now, listening to every word of your prayer, then you would pray in a completely different way. And so whatever resistance people might have to praying verbally, that resistance is magnified, exponentially increased when it's just a heart prayer. Because people sometimes think that you need to speak out loud in order for Hashem to hear, because maybe He's out there. But for you to believe, truly believe that Hashem is in the heart of hearts, and you can carry on a conversation with Hashem just in your heart, You need to be in a place of keter. You need to be in a keter consciousness where there's only oneness, eno nuvado, and there's nothing outside of Hashem. And that's why this is, like I said, the crown jewel of Lev Emunah. It's the highest form of prayer. It's the pnimiut of prayer. And it requires ascending to the worlds of Chochmah Bina Dat, the chamber of Holy of Holies, when the prayer is just in your heart. It's the highest form of prayer that there is. And even when you pray any other prayer that you do in your mouth, which I recommend, very important to pray with your mouth as well, and verbalize the words as we explained. But at the heart of it, what's going on in your heart, there needs to be this. There needs to be the prayer of the Kodesh Kodeshim, the prayer of the Keter, the prayer that comes from the recognition that Einon Nuvado, that Hashem is in your heart of hearts. Hashem is here in my heart before I am here, closer to me than I am to myself. Mikomo shel olam. And therefore, that's the mechanism that allows me to pray to Hashem in my heart and know that Hashem is hearing every word. Knowing that Hashem is accepting every word. Knowing Hashem is infinitely immanent and present with me right here and right now. So now that you have this, know that if you came down to this world just to hear this secret, it would be enough. If you came down, who knows how many lifetimes we came down to this world until you merited to hear the secret of prayer the way you just did.